Here we are. What's the deal with dialysis is the name of our show, and we've come together. I am Ira McAlilly. I am a filmmaker, prop master living in Hollywood, and my good friend Maurice Carlisle, who is a dialysis technician in Ohio. Say what's up.
What's up?
Yeah. And so a while back, for those who don't know, we started this little podcast to try to educate people on things around kidney dialysis. And we're here today with Lauren Cephas, who is actually my sister.
Right.
But she was on dialysis for years. We've talked to her before, and we're just celebrating the fact that she just got a kidney transplant. What's up, Lauren?
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings on March 8th, to be exact.
Right.
All right.
So big smile tells the story, but tell the story. Like, how are you feeling?
I'm still a little nervous. You know, for so long, I would say over the last year, I had 5 opportunities to obtain a kidney because I wasn't vaccinated. That lost 2.
Wow.
Because I caught COVID, that deleted a 3rd. I went to the hospital and sat there for 8 hours for them to tell me that the kidney wasn't any good. So that was 4. And then this was my 5th. So, you know, when you go through just that alone, you tend to wait for the other shoe to drop. So I have a kidney in me. Every little bump and bruise and every little, like, what was that feeling? What's that? Is it not working now? Like, you know, you're kind of nervous. But, you know, my nephrologist was like, eat whatever you want, which I have been. It's not probably
Awesome.
good stuff, but
That's
I've
good.
been eating. And then, you know, I'm getting reduction in Prograf, which is one of my rejection prevention medications. They just reduced me down to 4 of them. They're 1 milligram each. And I started at like 8 and 7 at night, like 8 in the morning. I take 8 of the pills. Then I was taking 7 in the evening. They reduced me all the way down to 4 of the pills in the morning and at night.
Awesome.
So I don't know what that means. I guess that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
And this is a lifetime medication, and I would prefer to take 4 only as opposed to, you know, 7 and 8 and all that, because I have a lot of pills to take, and that's probably part of my other issue is like, I hope they get rid of some of this stuff.
Yes.
So that was a journey in itself. Just being like post-transplant is like a whole nother lifestyle. And now I'm like looking for jobs, and then I'm like, I don't know why I'm sitting up here looking for jobs. I gotta wait a little bit. And Greg, my husband, Greg, is like, why don't you wait a year? And then, you know, but I'm still trying to find things that I can do now that but I like literally, it rained all weekend. So I literally like just bummed in the bed all weekend, just watching Netflix, falling asleep to Netflix and watching it again and rewinding. And so it's a whole bunch of feelings. It's nice to, you know, the love that I've gotten from my friends and who have been praying all through the time that I met them. I've been here for 7 years. I guess that's an ashe from the ancestors.
Yes.
That was like,
Yes.
That's what I like to take it as anyway. So,
Right.
but from the beginning, I started in 2014, November 2014, when I got the diagnosis of congestive heart failure in relation to kidney failure. And so I was in the hospital, and I thought that was the end of my life. I really wasn't ready. And then I was told that I could change. I don't need to do hemo. They told me about peritoneal dialysis, which I say was the best crutch that I could have utilized over all this time. Right. It made me feel like I could do things and I could go away. And, you know, we've been to Europe twice since I've been on peritoneal dialysis. I'm going to use the letters PD if I speak about it later, just to save space and energy and time. But when I did PD, it just made me feel like anything was possible. I actually did it at work from like January of 2015 to like May. And then they put me on a cycler, which is an overnight apparatus that you use for PD. and that's the only time you do your dialysis. And it's all sugar water, pretty much. It's called dextrose, and it has some other things in it, nutrients, nitrate, I think, in there. You can actually use it for your plants. That's what one of my nurses told me.
Yes, it's true.
So I have a couple extra bags I'm selling for $275,000. Anybody wants some? Come on.
Yeah, you still got some, I bet.
Let me tell you, when we got home, I literally we called Fresenius, was like, come get this stuff, man. Like, get this mess out my house. I got so much
You wanted
space
to
in the
go.
house now, it's amazing. But
Awesome. I can just imagine, just time wise, like, you don't have to think about
right.
just scheduling, like that,
Right.
just that part of your life. I just think about, man, how much freedom that must be to not every day, all day, figure out when your next exchange is. And that to me is.
And I have a good example of that, actually. I had in the beginning, my first 3 weeks, I had to go to Gainesville, Florida, which is about an hour and a half away, to do my team work and like meet the doctors and for 50 minutes. And they, readjusted meds, so on and so forth. So we come home and I was like, Greg, you want to go to Tampa? And I wanted to go to Tampa because I'm a casino. I'm just a gambler. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I was like, yo, you want to drive to Tampa? And we were supposed to get there by 7, and because we're lazy and we just do what we want to do, we got there like by 10. And so we ended up having to like book a room somewhere, which is the scariest moment of my life, because we booked it in a place that we probably had no business being in there. But anyway, it was just a place to lay our head. And we went to the casinos and played until like 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't have to do dialysis at night.
That's
I didn't
awesome.
have to do, and nobody was waiting for us.
Right.
I don't think. I think maybe the next day we had to babysit. But other than that, we would be back in time. And it was like, wow, like we can do big people stuff,
Yeah.
And while we didn't come away with the millions that we expected,
Right.
we had a good time. You know what I'm saying? And we I should have made better plans, because it's closer from Gainesville to get to Tampa. So we literally like went home and then drove 3 hours to get to Tampa.
Right.
But because we could.
Could you?
Yes.
Could.
Yes.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now, go ahead, Mo.
I had some questions because patients have told me that when they get a transplant, they they smell things differently, their skin feels differently. Can you speak to that? And
yes,
and realizing you didn't realize that there was things you were missing.
Right. I'm going to talk about the negative first. And the negative is, because I think it has to do with the prednisone and something else, because like my skin hurts. And like when I get in the shower, like it's painful. Like if I have it too hot, I'm like, what? I will sit in a hot shower for like hours. I don't care about the water bill. I don't even care. But now it's like, dang, I got to turn this down. Like
you're sensitive to it.
Yeah, it's like crazy. I'm like, what? So then, and then like, I all of a sudden have a thing about sweets. Like I'm not a big sweets person. I'm not a big snacker. I don't eat like Doritos all day and Takis and all that stuff like my grandkids do. And now all of a sudden me and Greg have literally been hitting like the dollar store and like stocking up on candy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I have an addiction. Well, I did until like recently. I had an addiction to cotton candy. These blue bags of cotton candy that are sold at the dollar store, Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
I just did a little ad, and I would buy like 3 of them chumpies and then eat them all in the same night. And I'm just like, this doctor's gonna kill me, because I have to get my blood work done twice a week.
Right.
So I'm like, they gonna see all that sugar, and I'm like, I'm still within the norm, but I'm like at the top. And I'm like,